Welcome back to Tales of Symphonia. This is going to be a long part.
I see the part is 46 minutes long. What's up with that?
Well, this part
You fucked
here
up,
is...
didn't you?
No, this part, this part, I forgot to come back here for a second. After you go to Altessa's place and talk to that gnomelet, you have to come back to the Temple of Earth in order for him to show up again.
Where the fuck you were? I was at the bar.
So you don't have to do this. It's just a side quest to get one of the Devil's Arms.
Ah, shit, he's awake! Oh, shit, what do we do about him?
Because
I don't know, guess we gotta kill him!
because apparently we can't just step over the 2-inch tall gnomelets that we already beat up like hours ago.
Ah, shit, guess we gotta kill him! Oh, man! The underpants gnomes.
Yeah, so this is, since I'm getting close to the end of the game, I'm trying to get as many of the Devil's Arms as I possibly can, because at this point you can get all of them all at once.
And then you end up missing one at the very end.
As far as I know,
I don't hear you. I don't hear you
except for
saying no. I don't hear you saying no.
Well, I can't get all of them yet.
You just said you could.
No, I'm getting as many as I can. I'm not. There is a specific one that I can't get yet, because it involves a side quest going into Altamira at nighttime, which I don't really remember exactly what triggers that. There's a big side quest towards the end of the game where when you go to Altamira and you stay in the hotel, they give you the option to say if you want to hang out at nighttime, and when you do that, you can get the last Devil's Arm. But I can't get that yet because I have to get the other ones first. But this is Sheena's, and
Gates of Hell.
it's actually pretty decent, minus the whole accuracy and attack stuff dropping. So, eh.
I got a beer. It was my friend drowns in beer. You shit. You shit.
Oh yeah. I don't know why it took me this long to get this skit. This was supposed to be the skit you get after you find out that Mythos betrays you, which was like 3 parts ago.
3-part later. Holy shit! He's my best friend's a bad guy.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a part. It was a part ago. It must just take a while for it to actually show up. But
I think you sped up too much.
no, those skits go by really fast.
I know. I wish I could say same for Dawn. They take forever to get through.
Well, you can say the same about most modern Tales games, because any skits that are actually voiced usually go on for like 5 minutes.
Not even that. I've had some, and I think I've seen some that last for 6. Ooh.
Well, everything past Xillia 2, like, stuff starts going on way too long. That's one main complaint about Berseria that I've heard, is that they basically replaced all dialogue with skits, which is kind of insane when skits go on for like 12 minutes.
Dude, Dawn skits were so long they had to cut them into different parts.
What I'm saying is that Berseria replaced all on-screen dialogue with skits. At least from what I've heard. I could be completely wrong about that.
I'd have to look at that.
Me too.
Will you be going out tonight? You bet.
Yes.
You bastard.
So again, I don't remember exactly what triggers this. I don't know if it's you just have to be far enough in the story, or if you have to have collected a certain number of Devil's Arms first. But when you get the option to do this, this is something that was changed in the English version.
Yeah, the Japanese version lets you gamble.
Yes, in the Japanese version, you had to go to the casino, and after you earned enough chips, then Abyshin would give you the Devil's Arm.
God.
In the American version, since they cut that, you just get the Devil's Arm.
God, I remember this. I remember when Dawn threw this in just because of reasons. It's such a waste of time.
If you play the PS3 version,
If
then
you
you
play
do
the
have to gamble for
if you
it.
play the PS3 version, then you have to do it legit. Hope you have good luck.
This is also the only chance. This is also one of the 2 missable.
Colette, no,
this is
don't
one
name
of,
him
like,
Ken.
2 or 3 missable dogs.
Colette, no, don't name him Kenny. Now he's doomed to die.
She's never heard of South Park.
God damn it! And then that dog falls in the ocean and gets eaten by sharks.
Nah, Colette would save it. She'd fly in and save it.
The shark is level 99.
She'll be fine. She'll cast Holy Judgment on it and murder it.
I said the shark is level 99.
I know.
It's big.
Colette'll be fine.
It's literally big. It's literally bigger jaws.
Colette's the chosen. She'll be fine.
You say that for a lot of things. I said it's starting to sound like an excuse at this point.
Well, when they hype her up to be the literal reincarnation of a goddess, what else do you want me to say about her? They literally call her the reincarnation of God.
Yeah, and God has limits too, you know.
Well, apparently Zelos is also the reincarnation of Martel, which I don't know how that works, since he's a guy, but...
I'm pretty sure that's all made up bullshit.
Yeah, considering the church is evil, and we've known that the church is evil for a while now.
Oh, hey, gotta go, bye. Pretend I wasn't here!
So yeah, instead of... So be glad I don't have to grind for this. We just get the devil's arm right now.
Yeah.
We did have to pay for it, though, so that kind of sucked. I think that's what they replaced it with. Instead of grinding for chips, they just say, here, you gotta pay a certain amount of gold. Funny how Ambition seems to randomly pop up everywhere we go, wherever there's a devil's arm.
Yeah.
If he needs our help, he obviously knows where all the fucking things are. Why can't he get them himself?
Yeah. Key thing, regardless of how many, regardless of what order you get them in, this scene happens no matter what. It's always in it could be in a different area, but this scene happens no matter, regardless of what order you get them in.
Yeah, it's always once you get a specific number of weapons, he shows up.
Yeah, I had him do this in one of the dungeons actually, and it was really awkward.
This is almost always one of the last ones I get because, like I said before, I never remember exactly when you can do this. So it's usually towards the end of the game when I get it.
I think for me, during my one of my test runs, he showed up in the Temple of Earth. And I'm like, dude, how the fuck did you get down here? How'd you get past a dragon?
Same way he always comes.
He sure you can the shit out of that dragon.
Also, Genus's Devil's Arm is the only one that doesn't have an eyeball on it. Lucky bastard.
I would have laughed if one of these was literally just Soul Edge.
I mean, one of them kind of is. Zelos and Kratos' weapon may as well be Soul Edge.
That reminds me, one of Raven's headpieces in Vesperia is literally just Nightmare's helmet.
Oh yeah.
I love little shit like that. It's great.
I mean, Namco likes to reference all of their stuff. Sure, 99% of the time it's fucking Pac-Man, but at least they reference something.
Ew.
Much like how this is the only game that references the fact that Klonoa was a thing, because nobody gives a shit about Klonoa. Even Namco doesn't give a shit about Klonoa.
I don't want to fuck Pac-Man.
I never said you did.
Yeah, but you said it's always fucking Pac-Man, but I don't want to fuck Pac-Man. What if I don't want to fuck a Pac-Man? How do you fuck a Pac-Man? How do you fuck a Pac-Man?
And people keep talking about... Point is, Namco likes to reference all their stuff. With the exception of Klonoa, because even Namco doesn't give a shit about Klonoa. So no, Klonoa's not going to be in Smash Brothers Game Explain. Sorry, but he's not.
And then they'll reference they're like, oh, Dark Souls.
The only other franchise that's even more neglected than actually no, Dark Souls isn't even more neglected than Klonoa. At least they remember Dark Souls exists. Flanoir hasn't had a game in like 17 years.
Yeah, but I think in the PS2 version you can get Zelos and Sheena's biker outfits here. I don't know why they get biker outfits, they just do.
Yeah, I don't remember how to get all of the costumes. I know at this point I think I can get all the beach outfits, but...
I do remember I was able to show off that, and I'm really happy I did.
The beach outfits are pretty easy to get. You just have... If you explore enough of Altamira, you'll basically get it without even trying.
Yeah, I found Regal's to be the funniest, because he's like, oh right, I get buried in sand. All they do is just clip him through the floor.
I think the only stipulation you need for the beach outfits is you need to have Zelos in your party.
No.
For spoiler reasons that we'll find out about like later this part, actually.
No, that's not a requirement.
Oh, I thought it was a requirement to have a specific party member.
No.
Because I don't remember if Kratos has a beach outfit or not.
Actually, I don't think
maybe
you can.
He just doesn't get one, but everyone else does.
I don't think you're able to do that with Kratos, actually.
I know if you have Kratos in your party and you get the pirate outfit for Lloyd, he kind of like makes fun of you for it.
Pirate's life for me.
No, the title for that costume is actually called Army Hardies. It's like the funniest outfit. It's like the funniest title you can get for Lloyd.
I don't know. The funniest costume for me is his beach outfit where he just wears a floaty and flippers. It's like, you can't swim worth shit, dude.
So if you come back to Triet, this is where we get another Devil's Arm because there's a giant worm monster in the desert. Again, I'm not entirely sure when this happens.
I'll tell you what, it's actually disguised as a special skit.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I don't remember what triggers this to start.
Oh, well,
As far as I know, I think all of these can start as soon as you start disc 2. I'm not entirely sure
these
about that,
these start as soon as you start getting the devil arms, I believe.
Okay, well that makes more sense. So once you get the Nebulum, you can start doing all the side quests at once.
I
That
don't
makes
recommend
sense.
doing that as soon as you start.
No,
because that worm's gonna kick the shit out of you.
Well, this is the only one where you're required to fight a mini boss, and it's not even it's really not even a mini boss. It's just like a stronger base enemy.
The first of let's see, Vesperia would introduce these as Giganto enemies, and they're fantastic.
Oh yeah. Well, the sword dancer may as well count as a Giganto monster.
No.
You fight him 3 goddamn times.
No, it doesn't count. Because Abyss had that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, this game did it first.
I know. Yeah, see, it's right there.
Now, speaking of which...
no, the worm's right there, see?
Yeah. And it activates once you talk to the guy that tells you, oh, by the way, there's a giant worm monster in the desert. Can someone go kill it?
Cock blocked!
Nope. It was there. I found him.
It's an Alaskan bullworm!
I thought that too. I thought that enemy hit me right before I activated the thing, so I was going to be like...
He's not that strong.
Like, and this thing's kind of strong.
No, he's not.
Not really, though, because he's already half dead, and he, like, barely does 200 damage to me.
It's an Alaskan bullworm!
I remember you did that.
Yeah. Not again!
How do you get an Alaskan bullworm underwater? That doesn't make sense.
There's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Probably got flushed down the toilet.
No, Sheena, for God's sake.
Get better armor.
For God's sake, girl.
I
gave her better armor.
Level her up.
I have leveled her
No,
up.
you haven't. Otherwise, she
She's
wouldn't be
like
taking that
level
much damage.
She's like level 46, like everybody else.
Why is everybody else? Why are you 46 taking on this boss?
Because not everyone's like you and is level 80 at the end of the freaking game.
That's clear talk.
Besides the fact I didn't need to be above level 50 to fight this thing, I kicked its ass. Oh, the Soul Eater.
Is that the one that's Soul Edge?
I think so.
Oh, great, and all divided. An item I don't use. It's also known as free money.
True. Let's see what the Soul Eater is. It's in here somewhere.
If it's not a sword, then it doesn't count. Laser blade. I forgot you got
Laser
that.
blade. I forgot I got that.
So no, that's a Soul
Eater.
Edge.
It's kind of Soul Edge.
Yeah.
It's a broadsword, so it can't quite be the same. It could be Nightmare's Soul Edge. Or Siegfried's Soul Edge.
Nightmare and Siegfried Soul Edge is the exact same thing.
I thought Siegfried had Soul Calibur and Nightmare had Soul Edge.
That's not until 4.
Okay.
Even then, he's like, I hate this shit. Why do I have to have a copy of myself? Why do I have to fight a copy of myself? This is bullshit.
No, it's more like somehow after Siegfried removed Nightmare's armor became sentient and became its own person.
Yes, it did.
I don't know how the fuck that works.
Because Soul Edge.
Fair. Okay, whatever.
That's all I can say.
So
That's all I
anyway.
can say. It's just Soul Edge. By the way, Altessa's here. We've been ignoring him this whole time. We're assholes.
No, Altessa's been dying. We were supposed to come here first to get a doctor so that we could save his life.
But don't worry, we'll be able to save a Bishan, no problem.
Okay, so I've given him all but one Devil's Arm, and I can't get. I can get the last Devil's Arm now. You have to go back to. They'll explain who has it at the end of this cutscene. So.
You've obtained the last.
So I can go back and get the last Devil's Arm anytime I want.
I don't recommend going to him immediately, though.
Well, I mean, you can get all the Devil's Arms, just don't go to the Temple of Darkness. At least not until you're like level 80.
I think the last one, I believe it's Reigns, isn't it?
Yes.
Kotan.
Yeah, the perverted old man that tried to rip you off back in Hakunesha Peak.
Who's gonna remember that? Who's gonna remember that guy?
Well, that's why the game flat out tells you he's at Hakunesha Peak. Because it's been so long, no one's gonna remember to go freaking back there.
Body the old man.
It's literally the only time the game flat out tells you where a Devil's Arm is.
RKO the old man.
Also, fun fact: this cutscene has 2 different angles depending on which side of the town you enter from. I completely forgot that was a thing. It's a minor detail, but it was a nice detail nonetheless.
Then invite me back in the party. I'm freezing my ass off out here.
literally how long have you been standing there?
The entire time.
Also, if Altessa's in there already, then these 3 people standing in line blocking the door are just like wasting your time.
Oh, sorry. I was busy. I was in the middle of my game of Trauma Center. That's how I got my degree, you know. Oh, God. We have someone who's about to die. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Why are you so casual about this?
Trauma Center, Atlas didn't even create that game yet. They didn't even know it was going to be a thing for like 20 years.
It was in the future. Also, I need money to live my life.
It's Atlas. Don't expect them to do anything. They're giving you Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Switch, right? Yeah, and that game should have been ported to Switch 2 years ago. What's your point? It's also going to be censored. Yeah, and people should have known about that instead of complaining about it.
How much you want? 1 coin. Oh, that's not so bad. 1 coin in this currency.
It's like 1 coin. Yeah, but the coin's value is 200,000 gold. Fuck you.
It's like in Superstar Saga where it's like 9 million coins equals 1 bean coin. Fucker.
Okay, so pay attention to who the 4 people are that are going with the doctor. Because those 4 are the characters that have the lowest affinity with Lloyd.
I missed it.
It was Rain, Regal, Persea, and
Dick butt.
I missed the last one. Zelos, I think.
Dick butt.
Rain, Regal, Persea, and Zelos. Colette is going to have the maximum affinity by default. So in order for her to not be there, you have to intentionally be a dick to her. You dicks.
Dick butt. I'll just nickname her Dick butt the whole game. I'm so happy I can freeze to death.
I mean, to be fair, she's had no emotions for like 6 months. Cut her some slack.
Colette, your arm's falling off. Yeah, but I'm so happy.
I can actually feel that it's bleeding this time.
Seriously, get that bandaged up. But I can feel it. Stop it. Watch me fly! Oh god, don't take me with you!
Now, I'm going to reference this now, since I'm playing the GameCube version. There's a special, and I'm going to show it off in this part. There's a special scene you can get. You can get this in one of two ways in the GameCube version. One, you get this person to have a really high affinity with Lloyd, which is actually a lot harder to do than you think, because they're not in your party for very long. Or two, you just say no to everyone that shows up until he shows up. If you're playing the PS3 version, option 1 is the only choice you have. So, if you want a specific character in your party and you do it wrong, well, you gotta start the whole game over again.
Look at that low poly background.
Yeah. GameCube wasn't perfect. I don't know if that was a GameCube thing or if it was Namco being lazy and just using a GIF.
Namco.
I'm going to say half and half because while I do love the GameCube, it wasn't perfect.
Can we explain how it... Can we talk about how the relationship between Rain and Lloyd is fucked up?
Well, yeah, considering Rain is not in the top 4 for me. It's more heavily... Well, no, I would say it was more heavily implied in the sequel, but no, if you have this scene with Rain, oh boy, is it creepy. Because it implies a lot of things. It would be one thing if it was just Lloyd having a crush on his teacher, because you know what? He's a kid. That can happen sometimes. But this also implies that Rain secretly had a crush on Lloyd the whole time too, which is fucking creepy. For multiple reasons. One, your brother is his best friend, you freak. And two, there's just a lot of things. There's just a lot of implications.
Oh god, he's hot.
But I don't know what's more disturbing, that or the creepy-ass bromance that Lloyd can have with Zelos.
That's not creepy, that's amazing.
No, it makes no sense. Why would he have a bromance with Zelos, who he's literally known for 2 months?
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about. That's hilarious. What are you talking about?
It doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense because it's funny. It's like the only good part about Dawn is that they go in depth with that, and it's great. They spend the entire time just talking about hair.
Even Emil's just like, Zelos? Really? Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense, but the game acknowledges that if your highest affinity is with Zelos, you did something wrong.
It makes me convinced that they're gonna base it off your previous save file, but then they cut it out.
It should have been that way, to be honest.
Yeah, another negative for Dawn. It didn't take advantage of it.
No, it's more because Dawn specifically asks, oh, you have a save file, you have save data from Tales of Symphonia on GameCube. Do you want to transfer it over? And all it gives you is a bunch of extra items that you don't even need.
It gives you bullshit that you don't even use.
It's fine. It gives you like, I think it gives you like 10 apple gels and 10 orange gels or something like that.
The max you get is 20. The max you get is 20 in the original game.
I mean, it's a nice thing to start the game off with. You don't have to waste money on items, but
You get more than enough money to get those items anyway.
Colette, this is an adorable gesture and all, but it's made of snow. It's gonna melt as soon as I put it in my pocket.
It's magic snow.
Okay, then.
It's made of magic snow. That's so sweet. It's also made of cement. What? It just drops like a rock. Oh shit! Why is it so heavy?
Okay, so that was. So, second one. Hi, Genus.
Dick butt.
So this is probably going to be the most logical first two that you see. Is Colette first because she's just naturally the highest affinity, and Genus because I think his is naturally the second highest because he's the best friend.
Oh god, it's freezing out of here! I should have worn long sleeves
And pants.
Why did I think to come out of here? Sister,
Lloyd, what's so creepy about
Ray said I was naturally cold-blooded. Oh, this sucks.
Lloyd, I have to ask, what's so creepy about it snowing at night?
He's probably not used to snow.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're gonna trip and fall. Don't worry, I'll be fine.
And there we go.
That line cutting off was not me cutting the line off, by the way. That happened automatically.
Yeah,
Some lines do that.
By the way,
I just wanted to bring that up to make you.
By the way, I forget if you got this, but I believe there's a title for Rain in Try It where Genus trips as well, and that gets Rain the I think it was the sisterly love title.
Yeah, if you have to go back to Triet as soon as Rain is in your party, and then that happens, and she gets the sisterly love.
The funny part about that, I didn't get that until like after we went to Tethiala and come back. So oops.
Again, you automatically get that as soon as you go back to Triet the first time, as soon as Rain joins your party. So. Yeah. Yes, you can just ignore it the whole time, and as soon as you go back to Triet, you'll just get it.
Oh, another way I found this out. Another way you can figure out your highest affinity so early in the game. You know the geyser thing you can do at the beginning. If you fail that 3 times, your highest affinity character will save Lloyd and get the statue.
Well, at that point, it's going to be Colette no matter what.
Yeah,
because
but it's possible to have it. It's possible to have the other characters do it.
It would have to be on a New Game Plus because if
Yes.
you're doing it straight from the start, there's not enough scenes for it to not be Colette.
Yes, it'd have to be that. I think that's one of the few that's also fully voiced too, but don't quote me on that.
I couldn't remember. I do like this scene with Genus, is that Genus is acknowledging the fact that, yeah, I'm kind of an asshole too. It's like, I get that people have been treating me like I get that people are racists, but I'm kind of a racist too for just ignoring it.
And that's why I call you Dickfoot.
I mean, the kid is like 12. You gotta cut him a little slack for getting annoyed at
Yeah, why do you think I call him? Yeah, I call him Dickbutt. I call him Dickbutt until he learns the error of his ways. Once he learns the error of his ways, I'll stop calling him Dickbutt.
I mean, to his credit, he has been being, persecuted his entire life.
Good job, Dickbutt. Also, I can't see past my hairline. Please cut my hair.
I don't need, Lloyd, you don't need to cut my hair. It literally hasn't grown an inch since we started this game.
I'm pretty sure it's solid matter now.
I think that's something that's to do with me being a half elf, because our hair just doesn't grow. Kind of like those, Saiyans? Yeah.
No, science.
Science. That's it, yeah. we can't say the real name, otherwise Toei is going to sue us. Toy? Like, who's this Toy? I don't know. I think it's a toy company.
The funny part is Cyan is actually the proper pronunciation.
Cyan is more the literal translation to it, but
no, it's the proper pronunciation actually.
well, Cyajin, but still.
No, Cyan. That's the actual pronunciation in English.
Well, Cyan is the literal translation to it, but
and I'm here too. Boob's the character. How you doing?
Sheena being in your top 3 is actually pretty easy to do. I think we referenced this back a while ago. But
I was saying, Boob's the character. How you doing?
Sheena's actually one of the easier ones to get in your top 3 as well, because I think we referenced this before, but if you defeat Kuchinawa, it actually skyrockets Sheena's affinity with Lloyd.
Yes.
By a ton.
Yes, it does.
It'll move her up an entire place.
Unless
so if she was in my bottom
I should say, if you actually say the reasoning behind the duel, it actually does the opposite effect.
Yes, if you don't stop Kuchinawa from trying to kill himself and make Sheena do it, that drops your
not that.
with her by a ton.
No, not that. I meant at the start.
Oh.
It's like, well, fuck. I stood up because I wore this costume when I was born. I didn't think everybody kept staring at me. It was really awkward.
God damn it. Maybe so. Well, thank you for reminding me about that, because there is actually a costume I can get for Sheena now that this scene is done. It has nothing to do with if you pick Sheena to do the scene with, but after this scene, if you've won the fight with Kuchinawa, then after this point in the game, if you go back to Mizuho, you can get a new costume for Sheena. Really? Which I will do when I do my next batch of recordings.
I should say, make it safe before doing that. I'll explain off screen.
I actually have made multiple save files. Each one of these scenes, I actually had to reload a different save file to show because you only have one choice.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
So I have 4 different save files that have 4 different choices on here.
Welcome to the relationships.
Which also means that everything I do in my main file, I have to do 3 more times.
Yep.
You're welcome, viewers.
Yup.
You're welcome, viewers. Thankfully, I will give myself solace in the fact that this is basically the very end of the game, and there's only 2 dungeons left, so there's not much more for me to have to do. So backtracking from this point and doing things over again doesn't really take that long.
Nah.
What is going to take long is me re-fighting Sword Dancer 4 different times.
Oh, wait.
But by the time I'm able to beat him once, I'll beat him the other 3 times, no problem.
Corn, you mean that cat? That's a fox. Oh, you mean that talking fox? For the last time, it was a fox.
You mean your pet fox that died? Oh, sorry.
I made a present for you. It's a little corn made out of gels.
Next thing you see is just Sheena holding Lloyd by the neck over the balcony. Like, say that again, bitch.
No, she holds him over the balcony, Batman style.
I won't hesitate, bitch.
No, just hold him over the balcony by foot.
No, by his ridiculously long ass scarf. Seriously, what the heck is that scarf, Lloyd?
By the way, that corn gel joke is actually one of the bonus episodes of the OVA.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
No joke. Lloyd buys a bunch of gels off eBay and then makes a corn replica out of gels. And then the next thing you just see Sheena having a mini meltdown over it. She's like, "Oh my God, why did you do this?
What have I done?"
And then
look, I made a Corinne out of gels.
Yeah, and then we found out Lloyd paid 50,000 gold for it, and then gets beat up off screen.
Anything back time and time again. I started to think that maybe I could just be myself.
That reminds me, the bonus OVA episode when the OVA's near its end game. You know, it takes place after Zealous betrays the team. There's actually
I remember that.
Yeah, there's actually a poster on it that says the entire cast boycotts the finale, boycotts in the finale unless Zelos leaves because he's a jerk.
Well, that's because in the OVA, they combine both of those scenes together,
Yes,
which
they do.
makes it make absolutely no fucking sense.
No. It's like it's like the bonus OVA makes a joke out of it, saying all the actors are protesting doing this bonus episode because Zelos is in it and he's a jerk. He's a backstabbing jerk.
I just like the fact that anytime Kratos is in any of those bonus OVAs, all he does is shout judgment over and over again.
Yes, he does.
And it's fantastic.
In that same episode, Mythos actually takes away Zelos' color. And he's like, "Oh God, I'm black and white." And then
he still yells judgment. Well, that's when they started making fun of the fact that they were running out of budget.
No, that wasn't. This was after that.
I don't like
Oh.
just sitting around.
No. I'm saying that. He actually. Mythos actually erases Zeus' face, and he's in a mini panic the entire time because his face is just a little black circle.
Oh yeah. Also, Lloyd unintentionally just friend zoned Sheena when Sheena, basically confessed to him.
Nah,
Dumbass.
just wait. Just give it a while. He'll figure it out.
That's some snow.
So if you ignore,
Fuck
so
yes,
if you
no.
ignore everybody.
Fuck yes, no.
If you refuse everybody, then this scene happens.
Yes. Hey, someone just.
This scene will only happen in the PS3 version if Kratos is in your top affinity,
Spoilers.
which makes no goddamn sense.
Hey, dumbass.
This went from being an optional choice to forcing you to play the game a specific way, which I really dislike.
And Noise is here because reasons.
Noah's just here because
Reasons.
Kratos has been following you literally the entire frickin' time.
Like I said, reasons. Bark Wolf. No, we just. Noise is now called Bark Wolf.
Stupid dog.
Wine. No, I take that back. That's his new name now. It's just Wine. That's all he does.
I love how, because I remember when Grant from Team 4-Star was playing this on his channel a long time ago. Like, anytime Noah was on screen in the skit, he was just like, "Wine!" He would just shout it. Wine! And then
dog.
anyone that was in there, they would actually throw up wine gifs in the chat. That was great.
Stupid dog.
So you can unite the world.
Stupid
Maybe
dog.
one
You
day.
yeah.
The last time I was at one of his streams, I
yeah.
asked him if he was gonna. The last time I was at one of his streams, I asked him about it. He's like, "No, Symphonia is not canceled. We just have to, I just have to go back to doing it because we're doing because everyone's working on 12 different things." Because he's also been streaming or doing an LP of Vesperia with other members of Team 4-Star, and they just kind of haven't gotten around to finishing that yet. Kind of like us at this point.
By the way, your mom tried to eat you. It was pretty fucked up.
Your mom turned into a monster. Not my fault. It was Kavar, because Kavar was an asshole.
Noise.
They really do play up the fact that Kavar is the secondary villain for the game because
yeah, and then he dies a couple bosses later.
no, you kill him it's after you already kill him when they start talking about all the stuff that he was doing. It's they make him out to be the worst member of the Grand Cardinals, but you kill him off so fast in the game that it doesn't matter. Maybe if he was one of the last Grand Cardinals you killed, this would make more sense. But because you find out that Kavar was the reason that Lloyd's mom was killed so early on, all of this seems like it's thrown in. It's not bad, mind you. I like it. It just feels like they could have mentioned it sooner.
I like how Cross mentions there are designs that are half eaten by monsters. I'm like, wow, these guys suck. These guys suck. They can't take on like level 10 monsters at this point.
I also love this cheery ass music going on with Kratos talking about all this stuff. Like they got to like, my wife was murdered, and all the and I killed a whole bunch of Desians. And when I went to save her, the Desians I killed were also eaten by monsters.
And then,
like,
and then the audience is like, "Aw." It's just because of the music.
I came to think that as long as the land would return to normal, that would be enough.
Secret boss.
You got You were convinced by that by a 10-year-old, Kratos. What's wrong with you?
The secret boss is Clock King. He's inside that clock tower.
Remind me of Mythos.
Fucking hell. No, Batman already took care of him.
Batman doesn't exist in this universe. I'm sorry.
He didn't give up. No matter how
What are you
much
talking about?
he
He's right there.
stressed, he was hopeful.
Fuck, you're right.
The day Martel
Where's his batarang?
A hero. That's what people
Man, if Cam Clark actually did voice Batman at some point, that would have been amazing.
the difference between you and Mythos.
No, instead, I guess we'll have to settle for Leonardo. He'll go off. So the whole time he went off to fight Shredder. I guess he killed Shredder finally, and now he's back.
And everything comes full circle when Batman actually fights Shredder in the crossover.
With Leonardo, but Leonardo wasn't voiced by Cam Clark in that.
No, he
in
wasn't.
that movie, unfortunately.
No, he wasn't.
We're unable to do that.
Which is weird because doesn't he come back to voice Leonardo in Turtles Forever?
That's 80s. That's 80s Leo.
Correcting our flaws.
That's specifically the
Yeah,
80s.
that's who Kratos is.
That's specifically the 80s cartoon.
You didn't give up.
I
That's
know,
why.
but it was
The crossover is
Cam
not
Clark that did his
the
voice.
Batman crossover is not based on the 80s cartoon.
I know. I'm just saying Cam Clark.
Then why are you
voiced
questioning
the
it?
I'm just saying he voiced Leonardo. It doesn't have to be a specific version of Leonardo. He could have come back again.
Oh my god!
I still have something
Stop!
Anyway,
until I am able to
I keep telling you this shit, and you're making me repeat myself.
anyway, it doesn't matter.
Sorry, I can't fight alongside you. I'm kind of handcuffed.
until I am able to entrust it to you.
If I joined you right now, Mythos would kind of know what I'm doing, and I can't let that happen yet.
Then you just, off screen, you see Mythos with binoculars. That bitch.
Do not allow your jealousy to continue as he pleases.
I knew I should have put a GPS tracker on that bastard.
Next time. I'll stick it on someone's forehead. That'll do it.
Stop Mythos before Colette is taken from you again.
Oh, I know. I'll rig this random-ass core I found on the ground and stick that in someone's forehead.
Now there's one extra little. I think I could be misremembering this, but I think if Kratos is a higher affinity with you, he will mention keep a close eye. Someone might be like, don't be too trusting.
It's
of
a bomb!
people. God damn it! I forgot you did that.
Wine!
That is probably my favorite edit you did in your entire playthrough.
This baby must be me.
This baby must be my brother. Wine!
Except it's actually dubbed. Except this line's actually voiced, so you actually.
Wine!
I'll hang on to it.
And then he eats it.
Anyway, what I was trying to say is.
Sorry.
What I was trying to say is, if your affinity with Zelos is a lot lower, I think Kratos warns you to pay attention to a specific person.
No, he says
I
that.
could
He
be
says
wrong-
that
I
regard.
could be misremembering that.
No, he says that. He says that if you actually do choose him, regardless.
Okay. No, I don't remember. For some reason, I have a vague memory of him specifically saying, "Be cautious around a specific person."
We're going to strike.
But I think that was actually a different scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. Oh, you skipped this cutscene. I know what you're doing now. He's like, I ain't got time for this shit.
I thought I showed the scene already. I think that's what was happening.
I ain't got time for this shit.
No, I think what happened here was that I recorded this scene
Then I guess this will.
when I picked Colette as my main person, and then I thought I played through this part already, but
Yeah, I got
I
shit.
apologize for that.
I got shit to do.
I apologize for that. I could have sworn that I kept this part in.
Don't worry, Colette.
I got cum.
I still
Like I
have
said,
it
I got.
saved.
Don't worry about me. I got shit to do.
Wow. We actually have... Sorry, Lloyd.
We got the buff. And so Spine's got like, you gotta be a man. I was like, I got the buff. I got the muscle.
Let's go kick some Crucius butt, Lloyd.
Damn it. See, again, I think I edited this weirdly.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That scene is different. That scene is different if you choose Kratos.
You're counting on me.
Yeah. So if you don't talk to Kratos, this is what he. Then this is what he. Then this is what'll play out.
I hope so.
This is great. The way you edited this is so stupid, but it's great.
I thought I edited this better. I'm sorry.
I don't care. This is great.
If you do choose Kratos, then this happens.
What are you saying? Of course you can trust me. I'm the type that responds to people's trust.
I got this headband for a reason. No, I didn't get headbutt off screen.
Really? Come on, let's go.
What? This giant M on my forehead? It's always been there.
This giant M. This giant M. This giant M on forehead? Oh, don't worry about it. It stands for winner. Yeah, that's what it means.
So anyway, I apologize for the speeding up. I thought I played the original part there, but... So basically what I was skipping through, which I didn't mean to entirely skip through, is... basically the game was... And you can tell I made multiple saves because they all have the same frickin' slot there. But anyway, so basically what they were saying at that point is, Lloyd is like, I made up my mind. I'm going to go fight Kratos. He's like, I'm going to go confront Kratos anyway.
Oh,
like,
that's not what he says.
He's like, because we need to summon Origins. Like, and then everyone's like, doesn't that mean Kratos is going to die? It's like, we don't know that for sure, but it's better than letting Mythos win, so we're going to go fight Kratos.
Just like that. Part 42. Lloyd's got shit to do.
You mean 72?
72, yeah. Part 72.
And then the whole thing with... And so what happens is everyone's like, well, we'll follow you anyway. And then Colette says that, and Lloyd's just like, no, Colette, you should stay behind because Mythos wants you to make you into the new Martel. So like, we'll just hide you while we go fight Mythos. And then Colette's is like, no, fuck that, I'm coming with you.
Dear Colette, maybe it's the beer talking, but you gotta...
Oh, God damn it.
They got
these big
eternal
juicy gels.
the eternal sword. Get out of here.
500 gold. Get out of here.
The eternal sword. Get out of here.
So, yeah. Sorry for the nothing but cutscenes.
Then Sheena gets that note. Dear Sheena, maybe it's the beer talking, but... And then he immediately punches Zelos for no reason. It's like, I didn't even make that note! God damn it!
Maybe it's the potion talking.
The elixir talking.